Hello and welcome to Sammy C. Press. Today we're diving back into something more than Shakespeare, the Poetry Workbook. We're going to be discussing Edgar Allen Poe. Here are some quick facts. He was born in 1809 and he died in 1849. He was born in Massachusetts. His father left the family, but we're not sure why. Then he was orphaned at the age of 2 when his mother died of tuberculosis. At university, he gambled, lost money, and went into debt. Later, he lied about his age and joined the military. He became a sergeant major. John Allen, the man who took Poe in when he was orphaned, later disowned him. Edgar lived in Baltimore with his aunt, the sister of his real father. In 1845, Edgar became popular with his poem that was published called The Raven. We're going to discuss a different poem today. This is a poem where Poe was torn apart by the loss of his wife. Loss, wondering if in actuality it was real or a figment of his subconscious. In this 24-verse poem, there is a set rhyme scheme. It has 2 stanzas, one with 11 lines, the other with 13. The rhyme pattern gives the reader a dreamy effect. Poe wanted to confuse us so that we would wonder if we were in a dream or if it was reality. There is no constant meter. It has an iambic tetrameter, that means da-dum, 4 different feet, and an antipest, which is 2 unstressed and then stressed, so da-da-dum. When that's thrown in, the poet is trying to make a variation of the flow of the poem. This is considered an artistic breaking of pattern. It is done to create emphasis at times. It's not considered cheating, but it can be confusing, like those spelling rules that are constantly being broken. Poe wanted to mimic a dreamlike state. You know how dreams don't make sense most of the time? We also have a metaphor where Poe compares dreams to the bygone state. Now check this out. I found this interesting. Edgar in this poem wrote, in 1849, the year that he died, he compares hope to a bird or other feathery winged creature, which is a thing with feathers. Emily Dickinson wrote the poem Hope is a Thing with Feathers in 1861. That's 12 years after Poe's death. Do you think maybe Emily read Edgar's poems? And I don't know, maybe was inspired? The two had some things in common. They were both born in Massachusetts, and they both wrote about sadness and death. Definitely something to ponder about. Okay, so here is A Dream Within a Dream by Edgar Allan Poe. Take this kiss upon the brow, and in parting from you now, thus much let me avow, you are not wrong who deem that my days have been a dream. Yet if hope has flown away, in a night or in a day, in a vision or in none, is it therefore the less gone? All that we see or seen is but a dream within a dream. I stand amid the roar of a surf-tormented shore. I hold within my hand grains of golden sand. How few, yet how they creep through my fingers to the deep. While I weep, oh God, can I not grasp them with a tighter clasp? Oh God, can I not save one from the pitiless wave? Is all that we see and seen but a dream within a dream? It's quite a heart-wrenching and beautiful poem, I think. So here we're going to talk about one more. Here, in this poem, Poe is comparing himself to the rest of the world, and the people in it as he knows it to be. He is plagued by isolation. This isolation eventually suffocates his mind. The demon in the poem refers to Poe himself. He sees how his own distortion is what lowers him deeper and deeper into the depths of pain. He ends the poem suddenly because he cannot see himself going any further. Poe, as we have seen, had an extremely difficult childhood. Added to the fact that Poe suffered from recurrent depression, suggesting possible bipolar disorder. This was a topic that was not understood and actually was looked down on at the time. Support and help were not commonplace as it is today. This could have led to what we called self-medicating, usually with drugs, alcohol, gambling, and other addictive behavior. Through his poetry, we can gain a glimpse of the complexity of Poe, as well as his perpetual feelings of isolation, as well as loneliness. Perpetual is the key word. We all have feelings of loneliness and grief from time to time, and that's normal. But if we are struggling with feelings of loneliness that never seem to end, reach out. Do not struggle alone. Do not try to self-medicate. Remember, you matter. No matter what you've been through or what you've done, you can get help. Never doubt that. So we're going to move into the poem Alone. It is a lyrical poem with emotional reflection and deep emotion. The meter is iambic tetrameter. Remember? Da-dum. 4 different feet for the first 12 lines. The remaining lines are what's called troic. That means stressed and then unstressed. Tetrameter, so 4 feet. 22 lines total with rhyming couplets as the rhyme scheme. So now we're going to read Alone by Edgar Allan Poe. From childhood's hour, I have not been. As others were, I have not seen. As others saw, I could not bring my passions from a common spring. From the same source I have not taken. My sorrow I could not awaken. My heart to joy at the same tone, and all I loved alone. Then, in my childhood, in the dawn of a most stormy life was drawn. From every depth of good and ill, the mystery which binds me still. From the torrent or the fountain, from the red cliff of the mountain, from the sun that round me rolled in its autumn tint of gold, from the lighting in the sky as it passed me flying by, from the thunder and the storm and the cloud that took the form, when the rest of heaven was blue, of a demon in my view. Remember, the demon in the poem refers to Poe himself, and we can really see inside Poe by reading this poem. We can feel his despair and his pain and his isolation. We can see how his childhood and losing his mother and his father leaving really affected him in his course of life. We hope you've enjoyed the discussion of Edgar Allan Poe today. I know I did not do the reading of his poems justice. You can find some amazing readings along with visual effects on YouTube. Until next time.